Hello and welcome. My name is Aaliyah, and I'm going to be your guide through today's short flow. We're going to really focus on lengthening through our hamstrings and strengthening through our hip flexors and glutes. You won't need any props, but I do have a couple of blocks just in case I would like to have some more space during my practice today. So let's meet at the top of the mat. The first thing that we want to do is kind of widen our base just to start off with. We're going to press through all four corners of our foot, widening through our toes. And then lengthening our crown up to the sky. We're going to pull our shoulders up to our ears and relax down through our back. I invite you to either lower your gaze or close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Starting off our practice, we're just going to bring awareness to our breath, paying attention, not bringing any judgment, just curiosity. Inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our nose. Allowing this time to just become in tune with our own intuition. Thinking about what is going on with our body, just being curious of what feels good and what might not feel as great. Keep with the breath, inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Coming back to our normal breath. So if that's in through the nose, out through the mouth, just coming back into our normal rhythm breathing. And if you had your eyes closed, slowly blink them open. We're going to lift our gaze out to the front of our mat and gently just heel toe the feet in underneath the hips or whatever feels comfortable for your body. Pressing through, standing into a strong mountain pose. Pulling the shoulders back, lifting through the chest. Crown is long. Palms are facing up, but pushing away from the sky. Feeling our strong mountain pose through our base as we lengthen up. Keeping with that breath. Big inhale. Lifting the arms up above, coming to center and down to heart center. Lifting above, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward down to the mat. Hands do not have to touch. We can always bring a block here out in front. Just hanging here for a second. Maybe we fold the arms into a ragdoll, just twisting side to side, allowing our bodies to become long and heavy. Finding our breath. Letting the hands fall loose back down to the floor, bringing the hands either to the shins or thighs, halfway lift. Extend out through the crown, letting your back become neutral. Elongating through the neck, shoulders push down and away. Exhale, fall back down to the floor. Inhale, crease at the hips, pressing the tailbone down to the floor, lifting the arms up, or option to bring into the center for chair pose. pressing through the heels, really sinking down into our hips and glutes. Just warming up through the thighs. Inhale, lift up, arms raise above head. Come down to the center, fold forward. Lift halfway, extending through the neck. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, crease at the hips, pressing back. Hands either heart center or out for chair pose. Grounding through our feet, letting us have a strong base here. Unclenching the toes, letting them distribute the weight evenly from the front to the backs of our soles. Shoulders are relaxed. They might be lifted, but they're not pushing up forward. They're pushing down back into those sockets. Neutral spine, chest is lifted. Here, maybe option, lift up towards the toes. If you rock back, that's okay. It's just our body warming up, finding this new pose or posture. And press back. Inhale, rise to Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping the right foot back to the back of the mat, placing our hands either here on the thigh or lifting up for crescent lunge. Here we're pressing through that back ball of the foot, extending through that hip flexor. That front leg here, knee is stacked over top of the ankle. Now, we don't necessarily have to have a 90-degree bend here. It can lessen or be deep down. We can also widen through our crescent lunge. So taking that foot to the outside of the mat. Option also to have the hands heart center. Remember to breathe. Inhale, we're going to shorten the back of the foot. Back toe is facing towards the corner. Option for blocks here. Pressing that front hip towards the back of the mat. Floating down, allowing our chest to fall down to the top of the thigh for pyramid pose. Just feeling that gentle stretch through the back of our hamstring. Allowing our shoulders to become relaxed. Chest melting forward into the thigh. It does not have to touch. Allowing that crown just to drop down towards the mat. Next, inhale, press that back foot back. Come back up, crescent lunge. Options for hands heart center or up above. Really distributing the weight between the front and the back leg. Turning on that front glute and pressing through that back hip flexor. Inhale, lift forward, coming to that front leg. Option for blocks. We're either in a standing L or a standing split. Wherever your range of motion takes you, it's okay. Folding the chest back into the thigh. It doesn't have to touch. Just getting some more length through that hip, that hamstring. My glute is on fire. From here, we're gonna still work on that balance a little bit, pulling up that knee, holding here. Arms can come out to the side. Another option, right arm comes into the inner thigh, grabbing that big toe with our two peace fingers and extending it out. And let it fall. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow through vinyasa. So taking that plank position, option to drop the knees down into chaturanga. Option for cobra or up dog if it's in your practice. Folding the toes underneath, pressing back into downward dog. Here for 3 breaths. Allowing the heels to press down to the floor, lifting the hips up to the sky. Fingertips are wide, pressing through the palms. One more big breath here. And on our next inhale, bend the knees and walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg steps back. Crescent lunge. Lifting the hands to the thigh. Hands can come heart center or lifting up above. Another option to take a low lunge, bending that back knee, releasing the toe. Good. Keep with the breath. Making sure that knee is in line with the ankle, but we can always lessen that lunge if we want. Next inhale, shorten that back foot just a bit. Toes are pointing to the corner of our mat. Option for blocks, pressing the hip back to the back of the mat, lengthening down into pyramid pose. Allowing the chest to melt into the thigh. Keeping with the breath. Lengthening through that front leg, through the back of the hamstring. Just listening to what our body needs in this moment. Next, inhale, lengthen back into crescent lunge. Hands heart center or up above. Turning on that front hip, pressing the knee out to the outside of the mat, really grounding through that front foot into the mat. Remember, we have that option to make our lunge just a little wider if we want, stepping that front foot to the outside of that mat. Next, inhale, lift into L or standing splits. Hands can meet the floor or our blocks. Stretching through the back of that hamstring, letting our upper body just relax. Not pushing the floor away, but our hands are just there to help us stay afloat. Next, inhale. Lift that knee to the front of the room. Woo! Glute is on fire. Lifting that knee. Option to stay here or bring that left hand inside, peace fingers grabbing the toe and extending. Just feeling the little wiggles in our body as our body tries to find that balance. Exhale, release the foot back down to the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Flowing through our vinyasa. Option to take the knees in chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Meeting back and downward dog. We're only here for 3 breaths. Spreading through the palms and the fingertips. Pressing the heels down to the floor, keeping the hips lifted. If we want to bend the knees, that is also an option. The main objective is to keep the hips lifted up towards the sky, having a neutral spine, evenly distributing the weight through the hands and the feet. On our next inhale, slowly release the knees down to the floor. Exhale back into child's pose, allowing that third eye to come rested to the mat. Option to have a block here. Still engaging through the front hands, allowing the palms to press down to the mat. Fingers are wide. Elbows are lifted from the mat, pressing the hips down into the heels. If you want, you can open the knees out towards the outer edge of the mat, letting the chest and the belly just fall through to the floor. Here for one more breath. As we inhale, rise. We're going to press the knees to one side of the mat, come down to our tailbone. We are going to leave the left leg extended out, folded in the right leg. Foot kisses the inner thigh. Lift the hands up towards the sky and lengthen towards the front foot. Allowing our body to fold forward. Taking the hands, they can be outside to the floor, to the toes, to the arch, to the heel. They can be here down to the knees. Whatever allows your body to keep that neutral spine, chest lifted. Just loving that stretch those hamstrings are getting, bringing a smile to our face maybe. Inhale, rise, taking that outer knee. It can fold in or cross over. We can hug or hook the elbow to the outside of the knee, twisting for seated twist, allowing our hand to hang back if we would like some more space during our twist. Just aiding our digestion system here. Inhale, come back to center, allowing that right leg to fold out forward, lift through the shoulder, folding in the left leg, lift the arms up towards the sky, fold forward, keeping the chest lifted, hands falling towards the knees, toes, arch. Just keeping that chest lifted, folding in towards the top of a thigh. Keeping with our breath. Just paying attention to what our body is saying. If this is not our jam, come out of it. We know what adjustments work for our body, so find what works for you. Inhale, rise up. Left leg can stay inside or come across. We're gonna twist. Arm can squeeze, hug that leg in, or elbow hooks on side of the outside of the leg. Moving that back arm out if we would like for some more space. Keeping with our breath. Inhale. Extend both legs out to the front of the mat. We're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time, slowly coming down to our mat. Letting our shoulders relax down into the mat. Lifting both knees, squeezing them into the chest. Big hug. Maybe just rolling side to side, massaging that low back out. Releasing those feet down to our mat. We're going to ground through our entire foot. Hands face down to the earth. Our palms are down to the earth. We're going to squeeze through our glutes, lifting the hips up, allowing the shoulders to rest back onto the mat. Good. Turning on the back side of our body. Pulling that belly button in, just embracing our core. So our core is our belly, but also our thighs, our glutes, our hamstrings. Yes, turn it all on. Exhale, release down to the floor. Taking a breath here. Inhale, rise, pressing the hips up towards the sky, squeezing everything in, squeezing the glutes, powering through those lengthy hamstrings that we just built. Letting the belly button pull in. So think of a string attached to the belly button, pulling it back to the spine. Exhale, fall down to the floor. Lifting the knees, grabbing or taking the toes, two peace fingers around the toes for happy baby. Rocking side to side, maybe lengthening those legs out. Yes. Feels so good, right? Bringing our inner child to life here, laughing, giggling, smiling. Last inhale. Exhale out. Let the feet come down to the floor, finding ourselves in our final resting pose. We can either let the knees hang into the inside while our feet are out towards the outer edges of the mat, or you can lengthen through, finding ourselves in Shavasana, taking up as much space as you need here. Continue to breathe through in Shavasana. I want you to just think of releasing the tension within your forehead, allowing the breath to flow through your body, letting the chest rise. Maybe the belly is filling up with air, letting everything fall back down to your body. Letting the shoulders melt into the mat. Hands and arms and legs become heavy. And the next time you will hear my voice, I will be bringing you out of Shavasana. So take this time to just bring awareness back to the breath. Begin to bring awareness back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers, letting the blood return to the arms and shoulders, through the ankle, calves, and thighs. Allowing your body just to rock side to side or move the arms and legs. And then choosing to roll to either the left or the right, hanging out here in fetal position just for a breath or two. And when you're ready, rise to your preferred seating position. Bringing your hands to whatever hand mudra is calling you today. I'm going to choose prayer pose. Thank you for taking your time to practice with me today, and I appreciate your time that we spent together. Namaste.